Yes, guys. So today we are going to see the wrapper classes in Java. Okay. So now, so let me write wrapper classes in Java, right? Wrapper classes in Java. Right. So what is wrapper class, guys? So, so why we have wrapper classes? So I think already we discussed, right? So in Java, so Java is means what, guys? Completely object-oriented Java program, right? So everything we are going to handle what through objects, okay? But still in Java we are using what, guys? Primitives, right? So how many primitive data types we have? 8 primitive data types, okay? What are those, guys? Byte, short, char, right? Int, long, float, double, boolean, char. So I think everyone, okay, I think already we know, right? All these primitive data types. So now still we are using what? These primitive data types in Java, right? So now in order to get object form of these primitives, so we have what, guys? Wrapper classes in Java. Come on, I think we discussed, guys, all these things we discussed in detail. I think in the initial classes. Okay, please go and revise the videos what I uploaded already. Fine. So now, right. So now, so for all the primitive data types, from the primitive types, I want to represent in what? Object form. So for that reason, so Java people has been created, has been given, right? These wrapper classes. For each primitive data type, we have what, guys? Each one wrapper class, right? So now, so here, what is wrapper class here? Let's suppose wrapper. Okay, so we are going to wrap, right? We are going to wrap. So now if you have any kind of item, so if you want to deliver from one place to another place, what we will do, guys, we will wrap, right? So we will put that item into one kind of box, right? So based on item, right? So that is called what? Wrapper. So inside that wrapper, what we have? That item. Am I right? So in the same way, here also wrapper class, right? So now primitive. Primitive means what? So like 10. 10 is what? Primitive value. What is the data type for this 10 value to represent data type for this 10 value? Int data type, right? So this value called primitive, I want to treat it as what? Object. So now I want to put this 10 into where, guys? Okay, object. Okay, object form. So that is called what? Wrapper class. Okay, I'm going to wrap this primitive into object form. So that is called what, guys? Wrapper class. Come on. So now, what is the purpose of this wrapper class, guys? What is the main objective of this wrapper classes are? Okay, to wrap primitives into object form so that we can handle primitive also what? Just like objects, right? So that's what, right? We discussed it, right? So because most of the people are still they are saying, okay, Java is not fully object oriented because still we are using primitives. Okay, so now to overcome that, Java people introduced what, guys? Wrapper classes. So now if you want, you can use primitive, or else you can use what? This wrapper class also. Okay, wrapper class. I mean wrapper class object also. So now all the primitives we have wrapper class objects, right? So instead of primitive directly, if you want, you can use what? Respect to wrapper class object, right? So now, what is the main objective of wrapper class here? To wrap primitives into object form so that we can handle primitives also just like objects, right? So now let me write that point. The main, okay, objective or purpose. Okay, the main objective of wrapper classes are, okay. So what are the first point here? So now to wrap wrap primitives into object form. Okay, to wrap primitives into object form so that, okay, we can handle primitives also just like objects, right? We can handle primitives also just like objects. Okay. So this is the one of the point. So now one more thing here, what guys? Okay, now see if we have object, let's suppose there is a student object. There is a student object. Let's assume there is a student object. For the student object, obviously, object means what? There should be some data, student number, student ID, student name, like that. Am I right? So now I want to, okay, I want to represent, I want to see the student object as string form. Okay, so I want to see the student object data as a string form. So now what is the data we have, guys? If I want to see the student object data into string form, so what is the way? How can I see the student object data in string form? Let's suppose student ID is 101. Student name is Santosh. Let's assume. Now I want to see the student object data in which form? String form. So what is the way we have to see that object data in string form? One. So there is a toString method. Am I right? ToString method. Okay. So if you call toString method on student class object, you will get what, guys? Hmm? String form of, we will get string format of this object data. Am I right? So now, toString method. So by default, where it is available, this toString method has been implemented in object class. Come on, guys. I think already we completed this toString method and everything. Okay. So now in the student class, we need to override this toString method. Okay, to represent what? String format of this student object, right? So for that purpose, you have to override toString method and you need to implement the code, okay, to represent string format of the student object data. Am I right? So no. So there is a toString method where this toString method is available under student class. Am I right? If you override. So now, so for every object data, you can represent in what? String format. How? By using one of the toString, like toString method. Okay. So there is a, what do you call, utility method for every Java class object. You want to represent in string format. There is a readily available method. What is the method? ToString method. So where it is available by default? In object class, right? So now you can, if you are, now in our user defined Java classes, what we need to do? We need to override this toString method. Okay. To stating that what, guys? To get the string representation of the student object data. Okay, so what is the object you want to do? Okay, so in that object you have to override this toString method and you have to, okay, write a logic that to represent that object related data in the string format. Fine, so there is a toString method. Fine, so now, right, so like this, like if we, now we are talking about toString method. So now student class means what? Definitely there are other user defined methods like get student info, right? Get student marks. Okay, so now like the get student ID, like that we will have what other methods too. Definitely class means what? Definitely we will have methods. Am I right? So now, in the same way, now I have a primitive value. What is the primitive value I have? Let's assume 10. 10 is what? Obviously primitive value. Now I want to see this primitive value, right? For this value, I want to see in string representation. Getting what I'm saying here? So I have a value, guys. So what is the value I have? Just the primitive value I have. Now for that primitive value, I want to represent in string format. See, I have a student object. Okay, student is what? Object type. So now I want to see as a string representation of this student object data. Yes, there is a way, right? So there is a readily available method called toString method. By calling the toString method, you can get what? String representation of this student object data. In the same way, now I'm talking about another type is what? Primitive type. What is the primitive type we have? 10. In Java, we have two types, right? Reference type and primitive type. So the for reference type, there is a way. to get the string representation. So now for the primitive type, I need to get what string representation from primitive value. Okay. So now hmm, to get that string representation of this primitive value, okay. So now we have what guys? Wrapper class. So what is the wrapper class for this? Integer. Okay. So now, so there is a integer class they defined for what? Primitive types. What is the primitive type here? Int. For the primitive type int value, there is a corresponding wrapper class called what? Integer. Now this integer class can contain what? All the utility methods which are required. Okay. So a lot of utility methods we have. So by using one of the utility method, we can represent what? This primitive value into string representation. Hope you people got, right? Clear, right? So no. So that's why wrapper classes has been created. Okay, like this is what for second reason, right? So now see, now I want to see what okay, string representation. So now how see string value is equal to integer dot okay integer dot toString method of 10. Okay, now there is a toString method guys. Okay, what kind of method it is? Static method. So static method, how can we call directly? By using class name integer dot toString method of 10. So now if you call this one, it will give you what? String representation of value. Okay, now if you print this value, you will get what? String representation. System dot out dot println of. If you print this value, you will get what guys? Like this string representation of value 10. Okay, we are going to see guys, don't worry. So now toString method is what? One of the utility method. Okay, to hmm, to get what? String representation of this primitive value. Am I right? Right. So now so what is the second point guys we discussed now? To define several utility methods. Okay, to define several utility methods which are required for what? Primitives. Primitives. Okay, we are going to see guys all the methods we are going to see. So no, right? So what is the main object of wrapper class means? To wrap primitives into object form so that we can handle primitives also just like objects. Right? So now to define several utility methods which are required for what? Primitives. So for these two purpose, Java people created what guys? Wrapper classes. Right? Now. Okay, hope you people clear now. Now we will see. So now what are the constructors of okay primitive class? I mean wrapper classes. Constructors. Right? No. No. So how many wrapper classes we have? 8 wrapper classes. Because how many primitive data types we have? 8. To represent each primitive data type, there is a wrapper class, right? So who provided guys these wrapper classes? Java people provided, right? No. Now, okay. Now, almost all wrapper classes, okay, define two constructors, guys. Okay, what are those two? The one, the first constructor, one can, okay. So now one can take corresponding primitive. Okay, one constructor will take, or else let me write. How many constructors we have? Two constructors, right? So almost all wrapper classes defines two constructor. The first one. Hmm. What is the first constructor will do? Okay. Now The first constructor, okay, the first constructor, fine guys. The first constructor will create wrapper object by taking corresponding primitive as an argument. Okay, that's the first one. What is the second one? The second constructor will create wrapper object. Okay, so constructor will not create any wrapper object case. Okay, by using first constructor, otherwise by using first constructor, okay, will create wrapper object by taking corresponding primitive as an argument type. No, by using second, by taking help of second constructor. Okay, second constructor, we will create what? Wrapper class object. Okay, by taking the next one, by taking string as an argument type. Okay, right? So I think already you know, right? The constructor means what? By using constructor, we are not creating any object. What is the purpose of constructors? To initialize the object, right? So for that reason, we will use to create object. What is the syntax in Java? By using new operator, okay, new operator will create new object. Okay, now by taking help of this constructor, what we will initialize the data of that object. Okay, constructors are using for what? Initialization of the data. Okay, initialization purpose. So come on guys, we discussed I think all these things, right? At the time of constructor topic, no need to discuss one more time here. So now here what? So that there is the two types. Now almost all wrapper classes defines two constructors, right? So now the first constructor is what? Okay, by taking corresponding primitive as an argument type. That is the first constructor. What is the second constructor? String as an argument type. Okay, now we will see guys. Now what is the first primitive? Primitive class, primitive type we have integer. So for that, what is the corresponding primitive data type now? Primitive wrapper class now, sorry, for integer, right? So now see example here, integer, okay, integer I is equal to new integer, okay, see now 10, first constructor. Here 10 is what guys? Corresponding primitive value. Here integer class, right? What is the 10 here? Int data type, right? This is what? Int value, corresponding primitive value. By using corresponding primitive value as an argument, okay, I can create what? Integer wrapper class object. This is what guys? Constructor, right? What is the constructor? Integer. What is the data type? Primitive type, int. Okay, so this is what? One constructor, right? This is 10 is what now? Primitive. Am I right? Primitive. In the same way, we can create by using second constructor. What is the second constructor now? Integer I is equal to new integer of what? String as an argument type. So you know 10. Right? Now this is what? String. 10 is what? String. String type, right? No. See, by using string type also we can create a wrapper class object, and by passing primitive argument also, primitive value as an argument, we can create wrapper class object. So how many ways we can create wrapper class object now? Almost all wrapper classes define two constructor by using argument, I mean primitive value as an argument type, that is one constructor, by using string as an argument type, right? Come on, guys. So now let me plug in, guys. I have charging it seems. Yeah. So now, come on. So now, in the same way, see all the wrapper classes, right? So let's suppose, let me take now double. Mm. Double d is equal to new double. What is the first one? Corresponding primitive as an argument. Double value 10.5. This is what? Double primitive value, right? Right? No. What is the next constructor? Double d is equal to new double string now 10.5. Clear now? Right? No. See now, here. So now see, string, I can pass what string, right? No. See, I'm creating integer object by passing what? New integer of string. So now I'm passing, I can pass string, right? So if I pass 10 here, because it is asking what? String type, right? Now, if you pass string like this, okay, we will get what, guys? Runtime exception. Okay, saying number format exception. Finally, it is what? Integer, right? If you pass int value directly, then it will create, or else you can pass the int value in the string format. So that time also it can create corresponding wrapper class object. But if you pass string something different than integer, like here t, and this is what? Text. So now how the wrapper class can create to represent this t and text, right? So integer class is what? It is representing, internal it is representing what? Int value, right? So what is the int value here? Int data type if you use, so what kind of value you can assign for int data type? Only int values, right? Numeric values. You cannot assign string value to int, right? Right. But here integer class also, internal it is representing what? Int type only. Understood? Now that's why while creating this wrapper class object, integer wrapper class object, you have to pass corresponding primitive value as an argument type, or else, okay, you can pass string type as an argument value, but that time string should be, I mean the int value, it should be under string format here in the second here, right? Like this. See, 10 is what? Int value, but I'm keeping under string format. If you pass like this also, internally it will create what? Integer object, because the string, under string, what is the value now? 10. 10 is also int value, right? So it can take that one and it can create that wrapper class object. But if you pass 10 here like text, okay, it cannot create. So it will throw what? Runtime exception saying illegal or number format exception, sorry. Okay. If the string argument is not representing number, then we will get what? Runtime exception saying number format exception. Let me write that point too. No. If the string argument, right? If the string argument uh, is not representing, okay, it is not not representing number, then we will get what? Runtime exception saying, okay, number format exception. I think already we discussed on this, okay, this number format exception. Okay, while discussing, I think in exception handling classes, right? Exception handling topic is, that time we discussed, right, all the exceptions, possible exceptions and all. No. Clear now? Okay? No. So now if you take float class, guys, okay? So now float f is equal to new float is what wrapper class. Okay? So directly I can pass what? 10 dot 5f. I can pass corresponding primitive values and argument, right? Now, what is the next constructor? Float f is equal to new float of string type, right? So now, obviously, we have to pass what? Okay, number only. Okay, string argument is should be representing what number. So no. Okay, so these two are the constructors for what float. So now, so now, I'm taking one more constructor here. Float f is equal to new float of 10.5. Okay. Now float f is equal to new float of 10.5. Okay. Right, guys. So now this float class, guys. Okay. Now see, here we are passing what float value and string value, and it can take double value also an argument, guys. Here 10.5 is what double value. It's not a float value, right? So float value means always we have to keep what? We have to suffix with f, right? So now see, I am taking directly float representing, I mean corresponding primitive value also I can take to create a float class object, and string also I can take, and this is what 10.5 is what double value. Okay, if you want, we can take double value also as an argument type to create a float object, float wrapper class object. Clear now? Come on, guys. Right. In the same way, okay. Now, okay. Now, let me. Now, character class we have. There is a character, right? So now, character. Character ch is equal to new character. No, right? So I can create a character class object like this. See. So now here what I'm taking corresponding primitive value as an argument value. Character means what? This is corresponding primitive value, right? Character, Q, character. Am I right? So now, in the same way, if I take character ch is equal to new character of, so what is the I mean, way? There are two ways, right? To create wrapper class object. One is corresponding primitive value we can take as an argument. Another one is what? Corresponding string as an argument. Am I right? If you take a string as an argument, okay, so we will get what, guys? Okay, compile time error. Okay, character class, accept character class. Okay, every wrapper class, okay, we can create that particular wrapper class object by using two constructor. One is what? By passing corresponding primitive value as an argument type. Another one is by passing string as an argument type. But only for character class, okay, we cannot pass string as an argument. Okay, only we can pass what? Corresponding primitive value as an argument. So now, so this is valid for character. Okay, but this is invalid. Except character class, remaining all wrapper classes, we have what? Two constructors. By using those two constructors, we can create what? Corresponding wrapper class object. What is the first constructor? By passing corresponding primitive value as an argument, and the second constructor by passing string value as an argument. Clear now? Except character. Okay? No. Now, okay. So now, okay, let me write this point also. Okay. Character class contains only one constructor. Okay. Character class contains only one constructor, that is by taking corresponding primitive as an argument. Okay. Except except character class, except character class. Okay. Remaining all other wrapper classes contain two constructors. Okay. What are those two constructors? Already we discussed. Right. So what is the character class constructor, guys? Here. Character ch is equal to new character of what? Char. Okay. No. No. Now we will go for what? Boolean. Okay. Now for the Boolean class also, how many constructors we have? Two constructors to create Boolean wrapper class object. Okay. So except character, remaining all wrapper classes contains what? Okay, these two constructors. Right? Now for Boolean class. See now, Boolean b is equal to new Boolean. Okay. I'm passing true. Boolean b is equal to new Boolean. I'm passing false. No. Boolean b is equal to new Boolean. I'm passing. Okay. I'm passing. Let's suppose yes. Something. Boolean b is equal to new Boolean of. I'm passing. No. Boolean b is equal to new Boolean of. I'm passing. Okay. True. Clear now? Right. So now you tell me, did you see any invalid statements here? See here, two constructors I'm saying. What is what? What is the first constructor? By passing corresponding primitive values and argument type. So now this is true is what? Primitive value, right? What is the Boolean values? True or false, right? What are the Boolean values, guys? Either true or false. All are small letters, right? See here, true. This is valid, right? So now false. This is also valid. So now what is the second constructor? By passing string as an argument. See, I'm passing string as an argument. Here, yes. Okay. So here, what is the value? If you print a system.out.println of b, what is the value you will see here? True. Right? What is the value you will see here? False. Now here, what is the value you will see? Here, what is the value you will see? Here, what is the value you will see? right? See guys. So now here, okay, now mm, if I print system.out.println of, okay, so here let me give uh, B1 guys, right? So this is what B2, this is got B3, this is what B4, this is what B5. Let's assume. Now system.out.println B1 dot equals of B2. Okay. Hmm. Now here I'm asking output. What is the next one? System.out.println of. Okay. Now B1 dot equals of, okay, B1 dot equals of B5. Okay, now system dot out dot println of, okay, so B2 dot equals of, okay, B2 dot equals of B3. Right? So now the last one, system dot out dot println of B3 dot equals of B4. Okay. Now finally system dot out dot println of B4 dot equals of B5. Right? Equals method, guys. I think already we know, right? What the equals method will do? It will compare the content of these two objects. Now, so now B1. So what is the B1 object content here? True, right? So now what is the B2 object content here? False. So now B1 dot equals of B2, what we will get? True is true. I mean, true is equal to false, false, right? So now we will get what? False. Okay, how can we compare true with false? The content here true, here the content is false. So that's what if you apply equals method between these two, we will get what? False. Now see B1 dot equals of B5. What is the B1 content here? True. What is the B5 content here? Right? Now see here. Here passing what? True. TRUE, right? See here, T is capital letter. So irrespective of case sensitive, if you pass either true or false, I mean the value, the Boolean value called true. Okay. So no, Boolean means what? How can we represent the Boolean values? Either true or false, right? If you take those values as a string format, irrespective of case sensitive, if it is true means internally it will convert into true, guys. If you print a system.out.println of B5 means it will give what? True only. Okay. Now B1 that equals of B5 means what? What is the B1 object content? True. What is the B5 object content? True. So that's what we will see here. True is the output. True equals of true. True, right? Now B2. What is the B2 object value? I mean the content false. Now what is the B3? See now. Yes. Right? So now I'm passing S as about string type here. Okay. So there is a constructor, right? To create a Boolean wrapper class object. The second constructor, it will take what? String as an argument. So that's what here I'm passing what? S as in a string type. So now S is what? Something other text. It is not a true. It is not a false, right? It is not a true text. It is not a false text. It is what? S. So now internally, if it is not a true, then if you take any other text, okay, this Boolean wrapper class, this constructor, internally it will convert it into what? False, right? So now here what is the value now? False, guys. Now here also what is the value now? False. Because this is no right. This is not a true. Am I right? See here, we are passing true here. But this is what? true. Text is true. The text word, okay, self is true. So that's what internal it will convert it into true. Okay. Other than that, if you pass any other string type here, okay. So now it will internal, it will convert to what guys? False, right? So now that's why B2 equals of B3. BT, what is the B2 content? False. What is the B3 content? False. False equals false means what? False only. False equals false. True, right? Both are content same. In B2 object content also false. B3 content also false. Now B2 dot equals of B3. False equals of false. True. Am I right? No. Here see now B3. What is the B3 content? B3 object content here? False. And what is the B4 object content here? False. So definitely what we will get if we apply equals method between these two? True. Because content are same, right? Now B4. What is the B4 object content? False. What is the B5 object content? True. So now if we apply equals method means what we will get? False because the content are not same. Come on guys. Clear now? Right. So now you have to you have to you have to remember this point guys. Okay. So while creating what? Boolean class constructors. Boolean wrapper class constructors. Okay. Right. So now come on guys, right? So now, so if you take like this, 1 minute, false, right? No, see, one more point I need to discuss. So now Boolean, let's suppose B6 is equal to new Boolean, right? So now if I pass through here like this, see here, the capital letter I'm passing, okay? Now Boolean B7 is equal to new Boolean. Come on, right? New Boolean, if I pass something called Santosh, what we will get now? We will get compile time errors, right? So this is what invalid. This is what invalid. So directly, what are the primitive values of Boolean guys? True or false? Both are case sensitive. All are lowercase. Other than that, if you pass any text as a primitive value for Boolean, we will get what? Compile time error. See here, true. Okay. This T is what? Capital letter. Always it should be case sensitive. When you pass primitive, corresponding primitive value as an argument. So here Santosh. So obviously, okay, this is not a string. So I'm trying to pass Santosh. Okay. So it is not a true or false, right? So compiler will throw compile time errors, right? These two are what? Invalid. Okay. The above two are what? Valid. Come on, guys. I think already we discussed all these things, right? While discussing what do you call data types. Now see, okay, now you got right. So now if you pass these values as a string type, so that time, okay, you can pass what? Case, I mean, see, this time, what do you call? We are not considering case now. So here true, P is what? Capital letter. But even though if you pass case, uppercase here, called true, right? So now it internal, it will convert into true only. For string type, you can pass. As a string argument value, you can pass. But primitive, we cannot pass. Only primitive. What are the primitive values of Boolean? Either true or false. All are lower case. Okay? No. Let me write those points, guys. Okay. So what are those points? So Boolean class also contains what? Two constructors. Okay? No. If we pass Boolean primitives as an arguments, right? If you pass boolean primitives as an argument, then allowed values are what? Then allowed values are either true or false, where case should be lowercase, right? No. What is the next point? If we pass, if we pass next one, string argument, then if you pass string argument, then content and case both are not important, right? Content and case both are not important. Okay? Both content and case both are not important, guys. If you pass string argument, see here I am passing s. S is content. Okay? The content no need not be either true or false. See here yes, here no. Okay, if you want, you can pass Santosh also. If you pass Santosh here, see here, if you pass Santosh means we will get compile time error. But if you want to create a Boolean class, okay, wrapper class object by passing Santosh as a string type, then you can pass, guys. Compiler will not throw any error here. See here, Boolean, okay, something called B9 is equal to new Boolean of, here I'm passing what now? Santosh. See Santosh, in which format I'm passing? String value, string argument value. I'm passing as a string argument value. I can pass. Okay. Content, content. Okay. Any content we can pass. Right. Now see, I'm passing now Santosh here. So what is the value now? False. Because it is not a true and false, right? So that's what it will convert into false. Okay. So that's why if you pass string argument, then content and case both are not important. See here case, here true. Key is what? Capital letter. Okay, but I can pass because this is what string type, string argument value. Here I cannot pass. See here, if I pass here as a primitive value, okay, so we will get what? Compile time error, right? If you pass a string value, then case is optional. But if you are passing primitive value, definitely case is mandatory, right? So because what are the Boolean primitive values? Either true or false, right? Boolean primitive type representing either true or false. All are small letters. Hope you people clear now. Yeah. So now, what is the next point you have to add here? Right. So now, if the content is case insensitive, content is case insensitive, right? Case insensitive string of true like this. String of true, then what it will you it is treated as true only. Okay. In all other cases, it is treated as false. Right? If the content is case in insensitive string of true. Okay. See here, either this true also or even this true also. Then it is treated as what? True. In all other cases, it is treated as what? False. Right? Fine. Okay. No. So let me write on tabular form, guys. Okay. So now, Okay, now like this. Now, what is the first one? Wrapper class. Here, let me write this is wrapper class. Okay, wrapper class. Okay, so now here are what constructor arguments. Constructor arguments. Okay, so if I write this tabular form, okay, you will remember easily. You can remember easily. So now see, this is wrapper class and this is constructor argument. No, no. See now, what is the first point? Okay, byte. What is the first wrapper class? Byte. Okay, for the byte, right? For the byte, what are the constructors we have? I mean, constructor arguments. One is byte, I mean, corresponding primitive. Another one is string type. Am I right? So no. What is the next one? Byte short. For short wrapper class, right? For short wrapper class, what are the arguments? Corresponding primitive. Corresponding primitive means short, right? What is the next one? String. Okay? No. What is the next wrapper class? Int. Integer, sorry. Integer, right? Wrapper class name. Integer. For integer wrapper class also we have what? I mean, there are two constructors. So for the first constructor, taking corresponding primitive as an argument. Next one is string. String as an argument. Okay? Now, in the same way, what we have now? Long. For long also, okay, so what we have? Two constructors we have. The first constructor is taking what? Corresponding primitive as a argument, and another constructor string as an argument, right? So now, what else now? After long, we have float. Okay, these are what guys? Wrapper classes. The left side are what? Wrapper classes. So for this wrapper class also we have what? Two constructors. The first constructor is taking corresponding primitive as an argument, right? And string, we have three constructors guys. So what is the next constructor? Double also. Okay, double. Primitive double. Okay, see float, string, double, right? Three constructors we have in float class, wrapper class. One is float, okay, corresponding primitive float. I also we can pass as an argument to create float wrapper class object, or else string also we can pass as an argument. I mean string type value, or else double type value also we can pass as an argument to create what? Float wrapper class object. Clear? So now, what is the next one now? Double. Okay, for the double, what is the how many constructors we have to create a double wrapper class object? Two. One is corresponding primitive means double. Another one is string type. Two constructors only. Okay. So what else we have? Next, character. Come on, guys. Character, right? Character class. So for the character class, how many constructors we have to create a wrapper class object? Only one constructor. That is what? Corresponding primitive as an argument. Means here char. So there is no constructor which is taking string type as an argument for character. Except a character class, remaining all other wrapper classes can have what? Minimum two constructors. Right? No. What is the next one? Boolean. Boolean wrapper class. So for the Boolean wrapper class also we have two constructors, okay, to create what? Boolean wrapper class object. The first constructor is taking what? Corresponding primitive value. The second constructor is taking capital Boolean, right? The second constructor is taking what? String as an argument. Okay. Right. So now in all the wrapper classes, okay guys, toString method has been overridden guys. For what? To return what? Its content. Okay, what is the purpose of toString method? We discussed it, right? In all wrapper classes, toString method is overridden for to return what? Its content. I mean the string representation of the data. Okay? No. No. Let me write those 2 points. Okay, like string class. Okay, all wrapper classes has been implemented or overridden. ToString method for what? String representation of data. Okay, string representation of data. Okay, no, like string class all wrapper classes also implemented or overridden equals method for content comparison. Right? For content comparison. Okay. So, okay, all the wrapper classes also implemented what? ToString method and equals method. Okay. So now we will stop now. Okay. For tomorrow, we are going to see what guys? Utility methods of the wrapper classes. Okay, which are very, very important. So we will discuss all the utility methods of wrapper classes. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you all.